I'm in the garden today. I took out my zucchini plant because it was getting super diseased. It was covered in squash beetles and nymphs and eggs, and it was beyond what I was able or willing to salvage. So this is kind of an example of what I was seeing. The bottom leaves were super dry, and then even the top leaves were kind of like this, where they were shredded. They were getting these dead spots. So this was one of the stalks that I cut off, where the stalk was alive and the leaf was totally dead. What the goal today is to plant out the section of garden that I have just cleared. I have looked, and we have about 74 days till the first frost. So let me look through my seeds. So it's my seed saver, and let me see what the vault has in store. I've got 2 lettuces between 45 and 55 days to harvest. I have a carrot that I think claims to be 68 days to harvest. I've got 24 days to harvest relatively heat tolerant breakfast radish. On the herbs front, I have dill and cilantro and parsley in here somewhere. And then a ton of green beans. So 2 different types of green beans, lima beans, and yellow beans. This is the area that I'm going to be planting in, one of them. So right here is beside my fence, and I'm going to weed it real fast.
While I am weeding this, I am also killing a ton of squash beetles that were left behind. So after I'm done with weeding it, I'm going to get a few coffee cans full of compost to work into the top layer of soil. Also, I have to throw the ball for my big buddy. So this is just me sprinkling the compost into the area that I'm going to plant, and then I'm going to work it into the soil real fast. Then first thing I'm going to sow is my lettuces here in the center of the area that I'm going to plant in. So I started off with my red leaf lettuce, and I'm also planting my green salad bowl lettuce, and I'm more or less going to plant them right on top of each other in the center of this area. They have had a pretty good track record of growing well in very close proximity. They only need to be covered by about 1/4 inch of dirt, so I'm not too worried about burying them very deep.
I'm going to grow 1 row of these yellow wax beans right along the fence. Allegedly, they don't need a support, but I like to give them one anyway, just so that they're easily accessible. Then I'm planting coriander slash cilantro in kind of the corners, because I know that the cabbage and the carrots are going to come out soon, and so this will be a relatively large plant that is a cool weather loving plant that will fill out that space.
This is the other part of the area that my zucchini was covering, which was the area between the trellis posts, which is a really nice walkway. And I have some pink-eyed cowpeas and some asparagus yard-long beans. So here I'm planting some of my Kentucky Wonder beans. I love Kentucky Wonder. I'm originally from Kentucky, and these were actually the first green beans that I ever grew. I grew them on a tomato cage support, so they have a special place in my heart, and I try to grow them every year. They're wonderfully productive. You see that some of these plants, like that yard long bean right behind me that keeps falling over, has definitely been kind of gotten leggy from the neglect from the zucchini just totally filling this area. So that was taking the zucchini out and planting a whole bunch more stuff in that space for a fall garden. So let me know what you thought of the plants I selected. And if you want to see the update for when all of that sprouts, make sure you like and subscribe so that you see my update later this month. Bye.